Good morning everyone, this is my third video in my YouTube channel. So today's topic is thread in Java. So before going to the coding portions of thread, first we need to understand the basic concept, some theoretical portions of thread. So the first questions that came in your mind, that what is thread? So first line should be, thread is a lightweighted process and it allows a facility to multiple activities within a single process, and each thread has its own program counter, stack and local variables, and it is a nested sequence of method calls and shared memory files and per process state. So this is the basic definitions of the thread. That is nothing but thread is a lightweighted process and it allows multiple activities within a single process. Third point can be it is a series of executed statements. That means multiple statements will be there, and which can be called as a series of executed statements. And the fourth point can be each thread has its own program counter. That means if I consider 3 to 4 threads, then each thread should have a own program counter, stack and local variables, and it is a nested sequence of method calls. And the fifth point can be shared memory files and per process state. So this is the basic definitions of the thread. Now the second questions come, that is what is the need of a thread. Now first point can be to perform asynchronous or background processing. Suppose we want to do some background processing, then we need thread. Then the second point is increase the responsiveness of GUI app. That means we in our future class we will talk about the applet program. So applet is nothing but a GUI app. So increase the responsiveness of the GUI app. The third point is that take advantage of multiprocessor systems. And the fourth point is that simplify program logic when there are multiple independent entities. So if there are multiple independent entities are there, then it simplify the program logic if we use thread. Okay, so these are the basic need of thread. Now the third question comes, that what happens when thread invoked. If we invoke a thread, then what will happen? When a thread is invoked, there will be two paths of execution. Okay, so one path will execute the thread and the another path will follow the statement after the thread is invocation. Suppose I invoked a thread, so what will happen? So here when the thread is invoked, there is two paths of execution. One path will execute the thread and the second path will follow the statement after the thread is invoked. Okay, so there will be a separable stack and memory space for each thread. So I have already discussed in the what is thread in the number of 4 third point C. Each thread has its own program counter and stack and local variables. So when we invoke the thread, so there is two paths. One path execute the thread, another path follow the statement after the thread invocations. Okay, so there will be obviously a separable stack and memory space for each thread. Now what is thread, need of thread, and what happens when thread invoked, it is clear. Now the fourth point is what kind of risk will be generated if we invoked any thread. So first point is that proper coordination is required between threads accessing common variables. So if we declare 2 to 3 threads, then we need to have a proper coordination. Okay, because the proper coordination is required. And the second point is that overuse of threads can be hazardous to your program performance. If we use the more than 2 to 3 threads, but which is not needed in your program, then it will cause a hazardous to your program performance. So the performance will be low. So these are some risk factor if we invoke thread unnecessarily. Okay, so first is what is thread, then the need of thread, third is what happens when thread is invoked, and the fourth point is what are the risk factors of the thread. Thank you.